Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Again, hello and welcome. My name is Cooley. I'm the Targeted Outreach Director at the California DFPI. Thank you for joining today's financial education webinar. It's about scams and frauds that target young adults. We have two really great speakers, one from the Federal Trade Commission and the other one from the Securities and Exchange Commission. Let's jump right into it. First, just a quick disclaimer, your cameras and microphones have been turned off for this webinar, but if you have questions, please submit it into the Zoom's Q&A feature. We do have a dedicated section at the very end where we'll be answering questions. The views and opinions expressed in this presentation are those of the presenters. They do not necessarily reflect those of my departments. Any mentions of specific products or services or brands is for informational purposes only, is not an endorsement or recommendation. This presentation is for educational and informational purposes only. This is not legal or financial advice. And for more information, you could always email it to my team. We have an inbox where we will respond to your questions. It's outreach@dfpi.ca.gov. Okay. Just quickly, just talk about the state of California's DFPI. Who are we? What is our role? What do we do? We are the state of California's financial regulator. Our purpose is to maintain a fair, healthy, and fair financial marketplace for all Californians. We do this by regulating and enforcing a variety of financial services, products, and professionals. We also provide free presentations throughout the state of California to help inform and protect consumers about frauds and scams. If you want to learn more, we do have a dedicated section of our website. It's very robust, has a ton of content, media. You could check that out at dfpi.ca.gov/consumers. All right. With that, I'd like to introduce Faye Barno. She is the Assistant Regional Director at the Federal Trade Commission, also known as FTC. Thank you, Faye, for being here and sharing your information.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Koo. As Koo mentioned, my name is Faye Barno. I'm with the FTC's Los Angeles office, and I'm happy to be here to talk with you about scams and frauds to watch out for. First, I need to give the FTC mandatory speaker disclaimer. The comments presented here are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views of the commission or any individual commissioner. Next. All right, so did you know that you can tell the FTC about the scams and the frauds that you see? You can do this on our website at www.reportfraud.ftc.gov, or you can call our toll-free line, 877-FTC-HELP. We receive fraud complaints from consumers across the country and from state and local consumer protection agencies and other sources. This slide shows a quick overview of the top frauds we saw in 2023. The top 5 are imposter scams, that's scammers pretending to be someone you know or a company or government agency, online shopping and negative reviews, prizes, sweepstakes and lotteries, investments, and business and job opportunity scams. Next slide, please. Here are the dollar losses that people have reported to us. We received fraud reports, 2.5 million fraud reports in 2022. And last year, 2.6 million fraud reports. 1 out of every 4 of these reported losing money. The total reported losses were $10 billion in 2022. This came out to a median loss of $500 per person. Next. The fraud reports show that frauds have different impacts on the different age brackets. Younger people reported losing money to fraud more often than older people. 44% of people in the age bracket 25 to 29 years old reported losing money, compared to 25% of the people who are in the age bracket 70 to 79 who submitted fraud reports. But as you can see from the right hand of the slide, when people age 70 or older had a loss, the median loss was much higher. People aged 20 to 25 who reported losing money had a median loss of $480. Next. There are a lot of different types of imposter scams, and one of them is the scam text message or email. Clicking on the link in the message may allow a scammer to install malware on your device, or it may ask you to provide your personal information like your name or login credentials for your financial account or email account. Or it might ask you to provide your date of birth or your social security number. Our advice is don't click on any links, and I'll show you some examples on the next slide. Next. A lot of people are doing their shopping online, especially during the holiday season. Watch out for scammy package delivery messages. They say they can't deliver your package and they need you to provide the correct delivery information by clicking a button. If you click a button, you might be activating a virus that allows scammers to steal information like your usernames, passwords, and financial account information. Next. Here's how one of these scammy package delivery text messages might look. The blurred out part is the link that we don't want you to click. Next. Here's another type of imposter scam. Do you ever get random text messages or instant messages from someone you don't know? You might think it's someone you know and respond, or you might know it's a wrong number and you might feel like, to be polite, you should respond and let them know that they texted the wrong number. Our advice is to ignore the message and report it as junk. It's probably just a scammer looking to start a conversation with you. After some back and forth, you might feel like they've become a friend, and that's when they'll start trying to get money out of you. Next. Here's another example of this type of scam text message. This one just says, hi. So you might reflexively respond to find out who it is that's trying to reach you. What scammers are doing is reaching out to random numbers, sending thousands of these scam messages at the same time. They see who responds, and then they start a conversation with you. Their goal is to develop an online friendship, quote unquote friendship with you, and then ask you for money. Our advice is to click the report junk button and delete the message. When you report it as junk, it alerts your cell company that this is a scam number, and they can take action to stop the scammer from sending out more of these types of scam text messages. Next. All right, this slide shows an email that I received. The picture on the left is the email. It looks like an electronic party invitation. When you click on the invitation, you're directed to the website that you see as the second image on the right. And that one asks you to sign in to your email account so you can see the invitation. If you take a moment and think about it, that's not how a legitimate electronic party invitation works. You don't need to sign into your email account. You're already in your email account. So what the scammers are hoping is that you'll click on one of those buttons and give them your username and password to your email account. Then they can hack it. Pretty scammy, right? Next. Okay, what do the model of your first car, your favorite hobby, and the high school you attended have in common? If you said that these are questions that are commonly used for online account security and for online quizzes, you're correct. Personality tests, quick surveys, and other types of online quizzes ask what seem to be harmless questions, but the more information you share, the more you risk it being misused. Scammers can use your quiz answers to try and reset your accounts, letting them steal your bank and other account information. Some scammers hack social media accounts. They send malware links to friends under the guise of sharing a quiz. What we recommend is to stay away from these online quizzes or don't answer them truthfully. And here's another tip. For accounts that require actual security questions, you can treat them like additional passwords and use random answers, preferably long ones for those too. If you're asked what's your mother's maiden name, you can say something else, another word that you'll remember. Or use a password manager to store a unique answer. That way, scammers won't be able to use information they find to steal your identity. Next. Let's talk about romance scams. You may meet somebody special on a dating website or an app. Soon they want to email, call, or message you off the platform. They say it's true love, but they live far away. Maybe it's because of work or because they're in the military. Then they start asking you for money. Maybe it's for a plane ticket to visit you or emergency surgery. Romance scammers create fake profiles on dating sites and apps, or they contact you through popular social media sites like Instagram or Facebook. The scammers strike up a relationship with you to build up trust, sometimes talking or chatting several times a day. And then they make up a story and ask for money. All scammers, including romance scammers, want to get your money quickly, and they'll want your money in a way that makes it hard for you to get it back. So they might tell you to wire the money through a company like Western Union or MoneyGram, or to put the money into a gift card and give them the PIN number, or to send the money through a money transfer app or through cryptocurrency. Those are all red flags that you should look out for. Next. Now I want to talk about QR codes. These seem to be everywhere. You may have scanned one to see the menu at a restaurant or to pay for public parking. You may have used one on your phone to get into a concert or to board a flight. There are lots of ways that people use them, which explain their popularity. But unfortunately, scammers are using QR codes too. They hide harmful links in QR codes to steal personal information. And here's what to know. That there are reports of scammers covering up the QR codes on parking meters with a QR code of their own. And some crafty scammers might send you a QR code by text message or email and make up a reason for you to scan it. The scammer's QR code could take you to a spoof site that looks real, but it's not. And if you log into the spoof site, the scammers can steal any information you enter. Or it could install malware that steals your information before you realize it. So how can you protect yourself? If you see a QR code in an unexpected place, inspect the URL before you open it. Look for misspellings or a switched letter. Don't scan a QR code in an email or text message that you were not expecting, especially if it's urging you to act immediately. If you think the message is legitimate, use a phone number or a website you know is real to contact the company. And finally, protect your phone and accounts. Update your phone's operating system to protect against hackers and protect your online accounts with strong passwords and multi-factor authentication. Next. So we are also seeing scams about college tuition. So for college students and parents, paying tuition is often at the top of the to-do list every semester. And imagine getting a call from someone who supposedly works at your school saying you haven't paid the bill. They're threatening to drop your classes unless you send the money right away. The call might raise alarm bells, but what we advise you to do is slow down. You might end up paying a scammer instead of the real tuition and fees. Scammers can pretend to be from places like your school's financial aid or bursar's office. They might call and say financial aid fell through and that you or your kid can't start classes until you pay the full balance right away, or that school transcripts are on hold until you pay. The reality is the school won't call and scare you into paying them over the phone, but a scammer will. If you get a call like this, don't panic. Instead, resist the pressure to act quickly. If someone calls and demands that you give them your bank or credit card information immediately, don't do it. And only scammers will demand payment with crypto, a wire transfer service, or a payment app or a gift card. Another thing, don't trust your caller ID. Scammers are able to fake caller ID numbers, sometimes spoofing the first 6 digits to make it look like the call came from on campus. And the third thing we would recommend on this is to check it out. Most schools use secure student portals to post your bill and let you pay safely. Check any tuition balance there first, or call the financial aid or billing office directly using a number that you know is legitimate. That'll help you verify any outstanding balances and when and where you need to pay. Next. Okay, so this one, has anyone This is for if someone has taken or shared an intimate image or video of you without your consent. That's known as non-consensual distribution of intimate images. If it's happened to you or someone you know, here's information to help you decide what to do. This is also known as image-based sexual abuse, non-consensual pornography, and revenge porn. So if you believe or know that someone shared an intimate image of it or video of you or someone you know, here's the link of the Cyber Civil Rights Initiative Safety Center. There you can find information about what to do if you're concerned for your safety. There are links to state laws about the non-consensual distribution of intimate images. There's guidance on documenting the abuse if you choose. There's advice on how to request removal of the images. There are recommendations for other ways to get help, including contacting law enforcement. There's also an abuse hotline, which is listed on the slide. The other thing we want to note is please report it to the FTC at reportfraud.ftc.gov. Next. So airline delays and cancellations are frustrating. Desperate travelers often turn to social media for help from the airlines. Hopefully we won't have many of these problems during this holiday season, but we just want to let you know that opportunistic scammers are lurking behind fake accounts trying to steal travelers' information. So we've seen scammers crawl social media looking for posts from travelers who are upset. They have reached out to these travelers through fake social media accounts and pretend to be an airline customer service representative who's supposedly there to help. The scammers ask passengers for a lot of information, like their booking confirmation number, their phone number, their bank account information, or they'll send passengers to a spoofed site that harvests their personal information and use it to steal the passenger's identity or to rack up charges on their accounts. So if you're dealing with travel troubles, these are our suggestions on how to avoid getting rerouted to an airline impersonator. First, contact customer service through the airline's official app, website, chat, or phone number. If you're at the airport, speak to the customer service representative in person if you can. And if you are reaching out through social media, find the airline's official social media page on their website. Look for a verification symbol or a badge, and never give out your personal information on social media. Next. So let's talk about utility scams now. The threat of having no power can be miserable. No air conditioning, no refrigerator, no fan. Scammers know this, and they'll try to trick you into sending them money to keep your electricity on. But there are ways to spot the scammers. No utility company will text you about a shutoff, and no utility company will demand payment in cryptocurrency. Those are scams. Before a utility shuts off service, the real utility company will notify you in writing and offer a repayment plan. So if you get a text message from someone saying that they're the utility company, just know a real utility company will not demand payment by Bitcoin, gift cards, or money transfers. And what you should do is contact the utility company directly. Use the number on your bill or on the company website if you're worried about the amount due. And tell them about the text message you got too. If you're behind on your utility bills, there are ways to make your payments more affordable, including setting up payment arrangements and budget billing. But you'll want to talk to your utility company directly using the official contact information. Next. We're also hearing about a new scam targeting food delivery drivers and restaurants. Scammers have been posing as quote-unquote support from food delivery services, and they're contacting delivery drivers and restaurants. They're trying to steal their personal information and financial information. In one scenario, the scammer tells delivery drivers and restaurants they're sending a free tablet or a printer to handle food delivery orders. And to do that, they say they need to, quote unquote, verify your phone number, your email, and login, your social security number, and your bank account information in order for them to send you your free laptop, free tablet or printer. In another scenario, the scammer is saying they need the driver's email or the bank account because there's a problem with an order, or they want to refund them money from a canceled order. And after getting the driver or restaurant owner's email, the scammer may ask for an email verification code, which you never want to share. If you get requests like this, no matter where you work, stop. And remember, don't give out your personal or financial information to someone who unexpectedly calls, texts, or emails you. They might be trying to steal it from you. If you think the request is legitimate, contact the business directly. Use a phone number that you know is real, or a website or app that you found yourself. And finally, never share the email verification code with someone if you didn't contact them first. Scammers are after your information and money, and sharing verification codes makes it easier for them to pretend to be you. Next. I want to tell you about that you can get free credit reports, and you can do this once a week through a website, annualcreditreport.com. Credit reports can play an important role in your financial life, and we encourage you to regularly check your credit history. You're going to want to make sure that you recognize all the credit activity on your credit report. And if there's something on your credit report that you don't recognize, you want to take a look at it. It may be that someone has opened up an account in your name without your authorization, and then you might be a victim of a scam or identity theft. So looking at your credit report is a good way to keep on top of that. Like I said, free weekly online credit reports are available, and they're through the 3 major credit reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. The website to go to is annualcreditreport.com. This is different from freecreditreport.com, which is not affiliated with the FTC. So I would go to annualcreditreport.com. Next slide. If you are concerned that you might be a victim of identity theft, you can find resources at the FTC's website, identitytheft.gov. If someone stole your personal information, you can go there to report it and get tips, get recovery steps. That website has useful tips on how to protect yourself, too, to lessen the chances of becoming an identity theft victim in the first place. We also want to encourage you, if you see imposter scams or any of the scams that I've talked about, we really encourage you to report them to the FTC at reportfraud.ftc.gov. Next slide. All the information that I've covered today is available in more detail on the FTC's website. The FTC has a lot of great online resources, and they're all free. We have listed on this slide some of the places that you can go: consumer.ftc.gov, consumer.gov, ftc.gov/passiton, and we have videos on YouTube, and this is on the account FTC Videos. Next slide. We also have these helpful consumer educational materials in other languages, and you can see those languages here on this slide. And the web page to go to is ftc.gov/languages. Next slide. Finally, I want to encourage you to sign up for the FTC's consumer alerts. These are weekly emails that let you know about the latest scams, including the ones that I've talked about today. If you're interested, you can go to ftc.gov/consumer alerts to sign up. And that's it for me from the FTC. Thank you very much. I'm going to pass it back to Ku.
Thank you, Faye. That was a lot of fantastic information, some great slides, and a lot of really great questions that are coming in. I do want to remind everyone we will have a dedicated Q&A session at the end. Please submit your questions into the Zoom's Q&A feature. We're holding on to most of them to answer. And also these slides and this webinar is being recorded. It will be published to our YouTube channel, and these slides will be made available to you after the webinar. So with that, I want to welcome Sally Kim, who is a supervisory counsel at the Securities and Exchange Commission. Thank you, Sally, for joining us. Please take it away.
Great. Thank you so much to KU and DFPI for inviting me to speak today. I'm excited to be presenting to you all. My name is Sally Kim, and I'm in the San Francisco Regional Office of the SEC. Next slide. So like Faye at the FTC, we are required to give a disclaimer before we speak to audiences. I am not providing legal advice or investment advice today. Instead, I'll be talking about general principles of sound investing and avoiding fraud. This presentation expresses my views and does not necessarily reflect those of the Commission, the commissioners, or other members of the staff. Next. So as I said, I'm with the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is a federal government agency that protects investors, promotes fairness in our markets, and helps entrepreneurs and companies raise funding. We work to ensure the markets are orderly. And in addition to our regulatory role, the SEC is a law enforcement agency. We investigate and prosecute violations of the federal securities laws. Our actions are civil. We seek money penalties and we bar bad actors from the industry. We file hundreds of enforcement actions each year against wrongdoers and return money to harmed investors whenever possible. Next. So according to the Federal Trade Commission, people reported losing more money to investment scams than any other fraud last year. Scammers use social media, text messaging, and other means to market fake investments. They often make it seem like getting rich from investing is quick and easy. But in fact, investing is a long game, and most folks build wealth by steadily investing throughout their careers. Understanding how investment scams work is an important step in avoiding fraud and protecting your hard-earned money. So let's talk about some common tactics used by fraudsters. Next. Scammers like to prey on your fears, the fear that you'll run out of money, the very common fear of missing out on the next big thing, the fear of appearing stupid. Often we don't ask questions when we should because we're afraid we might look unintelligent. And the fear of falling behind our peers. Sometimes investors will make riskier investments to try to catch up to where they think their peers are at. Next. Fraudsters use various persuasion tactics that feed on your emotions. They may promise you great, unrealistic returns. They might claim to have fancy titles or specialized expertise. They could claim that many sophisticated folks have already invested with them, maybe even people you know or respect. They may use scarcity tactics or time pressure to make you think you don't have enough time to research the investment, or that if you don't act quickly, you'll miss the chance to invest. And they may give you a free meal or some other sort of enticement, hoping you feel obligated to make an investment with them. These are all tactics that you should be aware of. They are red flags of fraud. Next. Fraudsters may impersonate government agencies, financial firms, or even your friends and family members. AI technology has made it easier for them to do this. So just because a website looks professional or slick doesn't mean that it's legitimate. And fraudsters can even hack into your friends or family's social media accounts and then post or send messages pretending to be from them. For example, they may post that your friend or family member has become a crypto expert and is looking for friends to join in trading or investing with them. Even if you are certain that an investment pitch is coming from someone you know, keep in mind that they may have been fooled into believing that the investment is legitimate when it is not. Next. So Faye talked a little bit about this already, but there's a type of relationship investment scam that we're seeing more and more of. And so it's worth explaining how exactly the scam works so that you're aware. This is the type of scam where a fraudster hides his true identity, reaches out to unsuspecting targets, gains their trust over time, and then defrauds them through fake investments. You may have heard these referred to as romance scams or even pig butchering scams. These fraudsters often initiate contact with you on a social media platform or through unsolicited text messages. They may pretend to be an old friend or to have contacted you accidentally. If they started the communication on a social media platform, they'll often quickly move the communication away to a different unmonitored space. Once they find a target who's willing to engage with them, these fraudsters begin the long process of building their trust, be it through friendship, romance, or an offer to help achieve financial goals. They might even suggest meeting in person, but then come up with excuses so that this never happens. Once the fraudster has established a relationship with their target, they might suddenly claim to know about a profitable opportunity or offer their trading advice on trading. They might even indicate that they or someone they know is a financial advisor or is an insider and is able to provide valuable trading recommendations. So, for example, we've seen where someone says, "Hey, I have a rich uncle who happens to be very successful at trading, and I might be able to get him to share some stock tips with you." So that's one kind of scam we've seen. Or the fraudsters might actually direct their target to a legitimate looking but fake website or tell them to download a widely used app that can be downloaded from a well-known app store like Google Play or Apple. But just because an app is available on an app store and it has like a bunch of downloads and reviews, it does not mean that the app itself or the activities conducted within it are legitimate or real. Fraudsters could steer their targets toward investments involving crypto assets. So they might, the target might think they're buying into a crypto asset investment when actually they're just sending money directly to a fraudster's crypto wallet. Fraudsters might tell their targets to wire cash or obtain crypto assets at a Bitcoin ATM or through some crypto asset platform in order to make investment deposits. But please be aware, if you wire money outside the United States or use crypto assets for an investment that turns out to be a scam, you may never see your money again. Fraudsters sometimes deliberately falsify information to make their targets believe they've profited from the investment. They might show that, something that looks like real-time trading information that is in fact completely false. These fraudsters can lead their targets to believe that they're doing well by sending like fake screenshots, showing fake trading information, or manipulating your online account to make it appear that your investments and earnings are legitimate when in fact it's all faked. We have even seen instances where a fraudster allows a target to withdraw a portion of their profits to further gain their trust and falsely reassure them that the investment is legitimate. But then they ask the target to invest even larger sums of money. And then when the target tries to actually withdraw their funds, the fraudster comes up with all sorts of excuses why that's not possible, or says, "Oh, actually, you need to pay more money to do that," or says, "You have to actually pay for all these fees or taxes to withdraw the money." But we've seen that paying additional funds only causes the target to lose more money because the investment was never real to begin with. Next. So everyone loves a good meme. This shouldn't surprise you that meme stocks are certainly attracting attention, especially with younger investors. A meme stock's price may be based on internet popularity and social views instead of a traditional stock value, such as a company's performance. And you may see your favorite social media influencer, athlete, or entertainment star promoting a meme stock. And although it's tempting, never make a decision to invest based solely on their recommendation. And be wary of endorsements you see on social media. They could appear unbiased, but may be part of a paid promotion. The SEC has brought charges against a number of celebrities, including Kim Kardashian. There's a little screenshot of her ad there. Paul Pierce, Floyd Mayweather, Steven Seagal, where we allege that they were promoting investments without properly disclosing the amount or nature of the compensation they were receiving for the promotion. So just remember, just because a celebrity promotes an investment, it does not mean that it is right for you or that it is even a legitimate investment. Next. More and more investors like to engage on social media and in discussion forums to seek out ideas and opinions about investment opportunities. Many turn to financial influencers or finfluencers who provide information about financial investments. And still others look to famous personalities and celebrities who may be getting paid to endorse certain types of investment opportunities. So while I can't provide specific investment advice, I can tell you that making investment decisions solely based on information from these people may not be a great idea. And here are a few reasons why. They likely don't know your personal financial situation or how much risk you're willing to take when it comes to investing or even your investing goals. They could be chasing the latest investment trends, which may not be the right investment to help you meet your specific financial goals. They might be getting paid for their posts or have their own agenda, which doesn't align with yours. They may be looking for clicks and followers so they can earn more money and may not be disclosing information that's actually important to you. They may not have the knowledge or experience to give you meaningful information that's appropriate to your needs and could even be exaggerating their credentials. It's also important to understand that although these influencers and celebrities might be popular, they likely are not registered investment professionals. Next. So let's go over some tips on how to be a smart investor. The key to avoiding investment fraud is using independent information to evaluate financial opportunities rather than trusting the judgment of a friend, family member, coworker, or someone on social media. Even if you know the person who's making an investment offer, be sure to research that person's background as well as the investment itself, no matter how trustworthy the person who brings the investment opportunity to your attention seems to be. And be aware that the person telling you about the investment may have been fooled into believing the investment is legitimate when it is not. Next. So like I said, before you use an investment professional, including anyone selling you an investment, please check them out for free on our website, investor.gov, and make sure you are dealing with a licensed registered investment professional. You can type their name into the site to see whether they are licensed and registered. And you can see their employment history, including which firms they worked at and how much experience they have. And if they seem to be jumping from firm to firm to firm, that could be a red flag. You'll also be able to see important disclosures like criminal charges or customer disputes here. Next. So in addition to doing your due diligence on the investment professional, you can also research the particular investment that you're considering. We have a free tool called Edgar that allows you to research publicly traded companies, mutual funds, and variable annuities. Edgar is the SEC's online database of corporate filings. If the company you're looking up is not on Edgar, you may need to do more research because it is not registered with the SEC. And that doesn't mean that it's an investment scam, but it's good to keep in mind that a lot of scams do involve unregistered companies, the ones that you're not going to find on Edgar. Always read an investment prospectus or disclosure statement carefully. If you don't understand the investment and how it may make money, please think twice about investing. Next. So in the age of the internet, the barrier for entry for fraudulent investment schemes is significantly lower. And at the same time, the ability to reach potential victims quickly is significantly higher. An offer to invest might come out of the blue. A friend can tell you about a great investment, an ad can pop up on your social media feed, or a stranger can call you about the deal of a century. You should tread carefully when you don't seek out the investment or the seller yourself. If you're tempted by the offer, please do your homework, or better yet, maybe just walk away. Next. For anyone you have met solely online or through an app, please do not make an investment decision based on their advice or solicitation. And please don't share any information relating to your own personal finances or identity. Next. And if you're not sure if an investment opportunity is too good to be true, consider these rules of thumb. First, no risk means low investment returns. If you are offered a no risk investment opportunity, compare its potential return with a financial choice that is truly guaranteed, such as a federally insured savings account. If the potential return of the investment opportunity is significantly higher than that, it could be fraudulent or contain risks you have not considered. 2, high potential investment returns typically means high risk. The stock market has produced large investment gains as well as huge losses from year to year. Any investment opportunity that guarantees you'll get substantially more than the average return of the stock market likely is a fraud. 3, promises of consistent double-digit investment returns are consistently frauds. The value of investments tends to go up and down over time, particularly for investments that offer potential higher returns. For example, it's rare for the stock market to return its historical average in any given year. Next. And if you get an offer to invest in something, be careful how you pay. Scammers love to have victims pay with untraceable and irreversible methods like crypto, gift cards, or wires sent overseas. Once you sent money that way, it's gone. Same with payment apps like Venmo. Make sure you only pay sources you know and trust, because once that money is sent, it can't be retrieved. And if someone is asking you to pay for investments in securities with a credit card, that's a red flag. Legitimate brokers often don't allow that. Next. Here are a few other things to remember so you don't get scammed. The government doesn't call you to collect fees or get your personal information. So if someone's claiming to be from the government and you didn't initiate the contact, call the agency and find out if they actually work there. Next, never pay for investments with credit cards, gift cards, or wire transfers overseas. If you don't recognize the caller, don't pick up. If you choose to speak to them, at least don't share your personal information. And finally, don't ever pay a fee in order to claim a winning or other proceeds. That's not how legitimate lotteries or investment opportunities work. People will make it seem like building wealth can be quick and easy, but it isn't. It takes sustained commitment. Slow and steady wins the race. Next. So let's talk a little bit about apps. We all have an appetite for apps. We use them every day in countless ways. And there are, of course, apps that have made it easy to invest online. Online trading platforms use various ways to get your attention to try to draw you in to invest more. These apps can provide you with convenient tools to make and monitor your investments. But apps may give you access to complex products or strategies that are meant for more sophisticated investors. And be aware that some apps could gamify the process of investing and nudge you to trade more than your comfort level. They often allow you to make trades for free without any fees and use flashy graphics that can oftentimes look like a game. But just because it may look and feel like a game, please remember online investing is real. Understand the risks involved and make sure you don't get in over your head, as you can lose real money. And don't let any investing app take you out of your long-term strategy. So here are some tips on choosing an app. 1, determine the purpose of the app, whether it suits your needs. For example, some are better suited for experienced investors who are used to making investment decisions on their own, while others can cater more to novices and offer more support and education tools. 2, pay attention to fees and associated costs. Some fees might not be immediately clear, and some free apps might actually steer you to other products like loans or credit monitoring services that require payment. 3, pay attention to how much of your information and data the app is able to access. Some apps will, aggregate all of your financial accounts onto their platform and maintain that information. And this can be a convenient way to manage your money, but it also leaves you more vulnerable if the app is hacked or its security is compromised. Finally, you might be thinking, if I trade more, I'll profit more, right? Probably not. Research has generally shown that frequent trading is more harmful than helpful to your investment returns over the long term. Even frequent traders who make profitable trades may pay more, because short-term trading is typically subject to higher taxation than investments held for at least a year. So for more information about taxation and investments, you can consult a tax advisor or visit the IRS website. Next. So a lot of what I covered in this presentation can also be found on our free website called investor.gov. It's our free resource for the public to learn more about investing safely. And there's an arrow pointing to this protect your investments section in yellow. And that includes tons of resources on different types of fraud, how to avoid fraud, and how to report fraud to the SEC. Next. And since this is a audience of younger adults, I wanted to point out we do have this special site, investor.gov/students. I really recommend that you check it out. It has our top 10 tips on how young adults can start to begin building wealth and avoid fraud. Next. We have hundreds of alerts on scams that our enforcement division is seeing and ways that you can protect yourself. Here are some examples of recent alerts. You can sign up to receive these updates on investor.gov I think if you scroll all the way down to the website, you'll see a place to sign up. Next. And if you'd like to file a tip or complaint with us, you can go to sec.gov and do it there. You can submit complaints anonymously if you'd like, or as a whistleblower and get whistleblower confidentiality protections. Next. And you can also find a link to submitting that on the investor.gov site that I just pointed out under the Get Help section. If you ever need assistance filling out the form or you have questions, please call our office. We'll be happy to help you. And we'll show you our contact info on the next slide. Next. So yeah, like I said, if you have questions about your investments or investment professionals, please reach out to the SEC staff through this number on the slide or by emailing help@sec.gov. We also put our San Francisco regional office contact information here on the slide so that you can reach our office directly if you'd like. So yeah, I hope you found the presentation helpful. We are happy to do presentations to other organizations. So if you're a member of an organization that you think might be interested in a presentation like this, please do reach out. Thank you.
With that, I do want to wrap up with some just last minute reminders. We have 2 different webinars coming up. The next one, which is Monday next week, December 9th at noon. It's Understanding the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. On there, we'll have Selena Damian. She's our student loan ombudsperson, as well as the student financial aid. They'll be there as well. So to answer your questions, talk about the PSLF program, use that link to register and join it. It will be recorded, so you can also rewatch it if you can. And then, of course, next week we also have the Consumer Empowerment Week happening. We have a webinar to discover your rights, discover your power, get help from the California Department of Consumer Affairs, that's the DCA, the DFPI, and also the Department of Real Estate will be presenting on the webinar. We have it in English and in Spanish. So please use those links to register, share it. We want you to know about the different rights you have. And finally, subscribe to the DFPI. You get notifications about webinars and events like these. And with that, I want to say, again, a big thank you to Faye and Sally for being here. Thank you for joining and staying a little bit after. And please have a happy holiday. Be safe and take care of yourself and each other. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.